I would like to see, you at least have that right. Of course, there's always drawback, and I guess, Chief, I guess you can be answerable to that if there's any. How does that convict your department is what I'm saying.
It doesn't stop the fights over parking. People get territorial and want to park near their home, and it happened. I'm reflecting this on Turnquist, where you have that type of arrangement now. Everybody doesn't want to follow the rules. It'll put another burden on having part-time people spread a little thinner, trying to enforce the parking regulations.
Something I'd like to say is, we constantly have policemen riding through, because in my particular court, this isn't in everybody's court, but our median, we used to be able to park there, and now we're not allowed to. So people are constantly getting tickets. So the police definitely go around and do that anyway. And we realize that we can't park in front of our house, but I think what happened, because our spots were taken away, so to speak, we were used to just parking in our little spots, force of habit, but they were literally, when I moved in, they were assigned to us. When the numbers were taken away, people again they still wanted their very own spot. But in reality, as much as I would love to keep my spot, there is a point where you have to realize that we might not be able to park in front of our house. But at least we would be guaranteed, because what was happening is everybody would park in their spot, and then everybody has a right to park there. But we also, anybody that has 5 cars has a right to park their 5 cars there. However, the rest of the community also has a right to at least be guaranteed to be in the court. So nobody wants to take anybody's right away. We just want to make it fair. And because we originally had numbers, when they were taken away, people were getting angry because they no longer could park where they've always parked since they've had the house, since the homes were built. So that's where the conflict is coming in. So, but we do understand that it doesn't mean we're going to be able to park in front of our house. We do understand that. When I went around with the petition, they would say, how would this affect us? And I said, you would be guaranteed 2 spots. However, it doesn't mean that you can have it in front of your house. So I think that people would still like to park in front of their house. That's obvious, but at least they know they'll have a spot for parking.
Commissioner Powell, Commissioner Hicks, any reflection on this?
I appreciate her coming in and talking as calm as she is about this, because the last couple of times we had, it seemed like everything was thrown at us, because we took on the work of the association that really the town has to abide by the town rules. But well, I'd like to look into this a little bit more, because you have some major concerns, especially with the elderly, and you know, when you go after 10, 15 years of living in the same spot, not the one little kid that was there now is now 5 and 6 kids, and they're all grown. So I understand where the cars are coming from. So,
yeah. And again, they have that right, but then we also have a right to make sure that we have a spot.
I would like, Commissioner Mary Jo said, I would like to look in this a little bit more and see if there's something that can be modified or changed or put in a place where we can accommodate. I know you ain't gonna accommodate both sides, but at least be able to look at the safety feature of it. Okay. So.
Also, are there any provision for handicap accessibility? And the reason why I ask that, if you have 800 spots and that takes away 70, that's taking away whatever.
You don't have it now.
Pardon?
We do have.
You do have that?
We do have handicap parking now you're in the 600?
In the 500 block.
in the 500 block, when they took the numbers away, they did not redefine the handicap parking, so
I think
you
last
cannot
time,
tell it that it's there.
the last time a group was in here, it was told for them to call into the office if they have a handicapped person in that resident or that area.
Mhm.
Then they need to identify that number. And I think it was something to call the town and see if we can accommodate them.
Okay.
Yeah, but aren't there also supposed to be provision regardless of whether they call or not, you know, or
In our court, there are,
There
Four?
certainly should be X amount of handicap accessible spots in the development. That should have been laid out.
Yes, ma'am, go ahead and speak from the floor, go ahead. Yes, ma'am, I recognize you, yes.
May I sign up to talk?
You can talk right now.
Thank you. I live in the 500.
Your name, please, so they can get it for the,
My name is Joyce Neal, and I live in the 500 block of Buttonwoods Road. When we originally bought the property, we were told we would have 2 assigned spots. We have 1, and it was never in front of my house. I don't care about that. I just want the 504 that I had for the last 10 years, and I am handicapped. We have 1 handicapped space that you can't see the handicap emblem, you know, signature there on the ground. And there are 4 of us that have handicap stickers in that row. And we only have 1 spot per household. So even if they could take away that divider in the middle and make extra spaces there, you know, I mean, I don't mind walking 4 houses down to my 504 spot, but I really have a problem with somebody parking in it now after I've been there for 10 years. I put my number back, and you came out and painted over it again. So, you know, yeah. So she's right. And if I can't find a spot, I'm too old to be parking on Whitehall Road and walking all the way around, because there's no spots in there, because they have that restrictive area there, and you do get a ticket if you park there. So.
I believe if you are handicapped, am I right? You call the town and they will provide a handicapped spot by your home, is that correct?
But any
will it be
handicap,
It can't be reserved for one person.
No.
What would it be in that situation with 4 handicapped people? Would you have 4 handicapped if there were 4 handicapped people on the block?
Beginning of the construction and whether or not
I-
they have to have certain amount of space.
Yeah, if you have the proof that you're handicapped, I mean,
That's all done at the beginning, like, these individuals will actually promise spots in front of their homes at the beginning of construction. I guess after investigation, it turns out that that was never on their deeds.
but it was in our, when I bought the house and I was the second person to buy it, and the homeowners, we had that at the time, and I was told I had two parking spots.
Right.
Me too.
so essentially where you all live, you all are at a disadvantage because you have 4 handicapped people with only 1 spot.
Exactly, and we don't have 2 per household, we never did, because when I bought the property, it was just dirt there, and so she told me, you know, we'd have 2 spots, but when we finally got into the house, there was only 1 spot per unit.
Mhm.
Everybody else has their number and a visitor, but we never did, we only had 1.
well, I think what's happened in the past with the homeowners situation is in the past. It's now owned by the town, but what we can do to make it better for you, we should try to do. 1, the handicapped people that are there, please contact the town, to make sure everyone that
Appreciate
you're,
the contact, exactly. I mean,
you could just call the, Michelle, your number?
oh, okay.
give it a number.
Yeah, it's 398-0970, extension 142.
142. I wrote that down for you, I have it.
Gotta give them a spot if they handicap, that's good.
Extension 102.
I agree with Earl, we really need to consider the big picture, and give this some thought and time. There's no quick answer for you, but we do need to consider all options and really weigh it out. There was one one suggestion about maybe removing a island for more parking. I don't know if that's possible or not, but
I